Well, a very good evening and welcome to the Hidegkuti Nándor Stadium in Budapest, where the Republic of Ireland under-17s go up against Spain in the quarter-finals of the European Championships. Kick off shortly. First, let's pause for the anthems. So the stage almost set now for this quarter-final tie between these two sides. Ireland, of course, coming in with plenty of confidence after a good finish to their group campaign, encouraging wins over Wales and over Hungary, booking their spot in the last eight. Spain come in off the back of topping Group B in their respective group campaign, and a place in the semi-finals on offer for both of these sides tonight. Two quarter-finals already completed earlier on today, and those matches going the way of Poland and Germany. Germany overcoming Switzerland on penalties, Poland getting the better of Serbia. And conditions in Budapest this evening very favourable indeed. As we take a check on the teams now before kick-off, and Spain making 5 changes in all for tonight's match. At the back, Isan Marino and Daniel Muñoz come in. Juan Hernandez, Alejandro Granados and Javier Fernandez are also drafted in. And up front, Marc Guiu and Lamine Yamal are two of the star players on the Spanish side. They've combined for 5 goals already in this tournament. Our match referee tonight is Milos Milanovic, as he meets both captains before kick-off. Freddie Turley, the Irish captain, in there for the coin toss before kick-off. Temperatures in the low to mid-20s in Budapest right about now. Has fluctuated around 22, 23 degrees throughout the day. It's raining heavily for Ireland's game against Hungary midweek. And here is the Irish team for tonight. No surprise to see Colin O'Brien naming an unchanged side from that win over Hungary on Tuesday. Freddie Turley superb in his leadership as captain in what has been a solid defensive unit so far. Romeo Akachukwu has added plenty in the middle third since coming into the team. And up front, Mason Mealy will hope to add to the 2 goals he netted last time out. Alan Coley alongside me for this one. Alan, so much talk about this game. It's one to really look forward to.
themselves against one of the best nations around Europe in terms of the football and pedigree that they have, I think it's one to really look forward to.
Well, Spain, 9-time winners of this competition between the two age grades at under 16 and under 17 level. As Alan says, a country with huge pedigree in this competition. But Ireland will be confident based on the performances they've put in, particularly the last 2 days out. I know it started disappointingly against Poland, but they've really bounced back in impressive fashion since then. Yeah,
absolutely, Carl. They come into the game in huge confidence, and we certainly have the players to trouble them. There's one in shot there. Ike Arazzi has been a revelation in the tournament so far, and he's one to watch out for, as is Mason Mealy and Naj Razi. So we certainly have the attacking quality to trouble this Spanish team. They haven't kept the clean sheet in qualification either in the group so far. Spain have conceded in the 3 games they've played. Obviously, they have their own attacking quality themselves that we'll see, and no doubt we'll speak about Lamine Yamal and Mark Gui, to name just 2, but I certainly think there's lots to be optimistic about. Once we keep it tight at the back, defend with a lot of discipline, be well organised, don't gift any easy opportunities, and I think, as I said, once we settle into the game, we certainly have the players to cause the Spanish team problems.
Spain playing from left to right in this opening half. The Nándor Stadion here in Budapest holds over 5,000 people, quite a few empty seats, but there is a pretty sizable Irish contingent for tonight's game, indeed throughout the tournament as well. Roaring on this Irish team managed by Colin O'Brien. The Irish manager speaking in the build-up to this game about the resilience his side has shown and bouncing back from defeat to Poland in that opening match, with 2 wins since then. And wouldn't it be a famous victory if they could see off Spain here tonight? We're underway, and the Spaniards getting an early ball into the area, and that almost ricocheted goalward off Mark Gui, the danger man for Spain, but that's a very early warning sign.
Yeah, and Yamal cutting in on a strong left foot there, whipping a dangerous ball in across the goalkeeper, but Healy dealt with it well. He's had a good tournament as also Jason Healy. I think what's helped as well, Carl, since the obviously disappointment of the opening game, the tweaking formation and the setup and the shape to the team, the inclusion of Romeo Hidegkuti, who we'll see tonight's been brilliant in that central midfield area, helping out young Danny McGrath, and it's almost like a 4-4-1-1 formation, whereas just in that opening day we were far too open with the formation that we played. Since he's come into the team, we've looked far better. Naj Razi getting closer to Mason Mealy as well, so that's helped greatly.
Ireland overcoming the challenge of Hungary on Tuesday. Spain rather played 24 hours later, but they did field a somewhat weakened team for that final group game against Serbia. They've got 5 players back into the side for tonight's game, as Ireland trying to get a foot on possession in the middle of the park, but Spain managed to hang on to it, and it's something that Spain will, of course, try to do throughout this game, is try and hang on to possession. Their manager has spoken about that as well. They'll try and dominate the game and work the opportunities.
Yeah, it's what to do no matter what the age level. Obviously, from the senior team right down to the underage teams, they will look to dominate possession. This will be the pattern of the game, but that's fine once possession is all in front of you and across the midfield area. But there'll be just little trigger points as to when we jump out of our shape to obviously go and try and nick it or close them down the further they advance up the pitch, Carl. That's so important, playing against a team of the quality of Spain who will dominate the ball, that you have to stay tuned in mentally as well. I know it's draining physically, but mentally you have to be so concentrated throughout, because one little lapse of concentration will punish you.
Well, the 4 teams that reach the semi-finals here at this European Championships will book a place in the World Cup later on this year. There'll also be another place up for grabs. There are 5 in total from this Championships, for the 2 best quarter-finalists who failed to get through the last 8 as Spain go on an attack again. Here's a ball across, and Ireland with defending to do, and that's gone out for the first corner kick of the evening. Again, Spain attacking down this right-hand flank, as Julen Guerrero, the Spanish manager, watches on, a player of real pedigree himself with Spain at international level, over 40 caps. But here's some early defending for Ireland to do. Alejandro Granados with the chance now to whip an early ball in. Here comes the delivery. Ireland trying to get that away, and do eventually. Jason Healy tried to fist that one away, didn't quite connect with it as he would have liked, and added to by the Irish defence, and they get the ball down the other end of the park and then can flood forward into their formation again.
Yeah, he just flapped at that one, Jason Healy, but you'd be disappointed if we concede from a set piece call early. We should be just as good, if not better than them. If they carve you open with a bit of quality, sometimes you can accept that, but we shouldn't really be conceding from set pieces.
Spain now with possession again in the centre of the park, familiar team in the opening 4 minutes here. Again down this right-hand flank, it's Yamal, star player in this Spanish team. Made his first team debut for Barcelona last month, and here he is again, Yamal with the opportunity. Locked down by Ireland, good defending. Jake Grant getting in the way.
Oh, it's a fantastic block call, because Nándor just gets caught playing in the wrong area. He knows himself. You can just see him putting up apologetic hand there, but he gets caught in the wrong area in the edge of the box. Yamal nips in front of him, but Grant was there to close it down really quickly. A brilliant block from him.
So in terms of the World Cup qualification, 4 semi-finalists will qualify. Then there's going to be a World Cup playoff next Tuesday for the 2 beaten quarter-finalists with the best group record. Now, after the results earlier on today, Ireland will qualify for that if they fail to win this match, and England were to beat France in the other quarter-final that's just kicked off as well. Of course, Ireland will be trying to make it through to the semi-finals and book that direct ticket to the World Cup later on this year. Here's some possession now for Colin O'Brien's team. Jake Grant now getting a touch after that really good block. Here's Corey O'Sullivan. Does well to get past the challenge. Now an opportunity to put it in the area. Good ball it is as well. And Spain get it away. Early promise again down the left-hand flank for Ireland, and then Grant reads that one well and puts it out off the field of play.
Brilliant attack and play, Corey O'Sullivan, and that's an area where we can hurt them, because Yamal won't track back. He obviously wants to be going the other way, but Corey O'Sullivan, as we've seen in the previous games and the relationship he has on this left-hand side with Arazzi, loves to get forward. And even though he's playing against a seriously good player in Yamal, it shouldn't stop him from trying to go forward, because you want Yamal chasing him back. And as we've seen there, he won't do that call, so that can be an area for us to try and exploit this Spanish team.
And you're right, Alan, it was down that left-hand side, wasn't it, against Hungary in particular, that Ireland had so much joy.
Yeah, very strong down the left-hand side. Luke Kerr is a different type of player on the right-hand side. He tends to double up with the right full-back, does his work up and down, puts in a really good hard graft, good on the ball as well. But Arazzi is the one that can kind of open doors for us down this left-hand side.
Spain with a squad and team littered with real quality players at Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, as one of those Barca products again. Lamine Yamal gets it back, and Spain now trying to unlock this Irish defence. Izan Marino involved, and John Martin, famed Barca academy, providing a number of players for this Spanish side as they try and thread a ball through. Defending to do again for Ireland, they deal with it. Corey O'Sullivan does well.
Just a little lad, number 20, Juan Hernandez, him, Carl. Just watch him in the last 2 or 3 attacks. He's picking up lovely little pockets of space. The ball has been fed into him from that central area, receiving on the half turn and playing out to Yamal. So he's one that Danny McGrath is going to have a difficult evening just trying to pick him up, as he's also trying to give protection to the back 4 as well. He's already received it 3 or 4 times in good, promising positions for Spain.
Munoz skulls at the challenge and tries to get a ball across, and does! But the ball has gone out over the end line. Went at the challenge there of Luke Kerr.
Yeah, my initial reaction was that it had gone out. To be fair, good call by the referee.
Yeah, was the right call. Ball came across, and had it not been called as out, that one was pretty close to going in. Goal kick is the end result, and Jason Healy now stepping up for Ireland. The other results earlier on today in the quarter-finals, Germany and Switzerland played out a 1-1 draw, but Germany won that one 3-2 on penalties. Poland beat Serbia by 3-2. They'll play each other, Germany and Poland, in the semi-finals. England or France await the winners of tonight's game. The other last 4 tie as Ireland nudge a ball forward in towards the area. Here's Akachukwu just trying to get control, but never really sat up properly for him.
Oh, it's brilliant
too well to win it back.
Brilliant from McGrath.
Another ball into the area. This time it was Nash Ratzi with the effort, but no one really read it from an Irish point of view. But that's encouraging.
Yeah, because the ball into the box initially, Carl, obviously Mason Mealy, he'll cause all sorts of problems. We haven't even mentioned him yet, but for people who don't know, he's a real talent. He's only 15 years of age. He's obviously got 2 in the game against Hungary as well. He's a real talent, as I say. But that time, when it came up to him, he's already shown his physical presence, knocking it down to the edge of the box. But really good play from Danny McGrath, closing down quickly as the ball came out to the edge, just stopping any chance of a counter-attack from Spain.
Of the 20 players in the Irish squad playing at League of Ireland clubs. Mentioned Mason Mealy of St. Pat's.
You can just see the bottom of shot here, number 20, just in between Arazzi and Danny McGrath. That's the position he's looking to pick up. Danny McGrath is obviously going across to try and protect the back four as well, but these passes into him here, they're the ones that we have to try and stop.
Marino. Defending to do for Grant. Does well, stands tall and extend the attempted effort from Mark Weir. Then the ball again is curled into the area. Well read by Jason Healy, but again it's Lamine Yamal on his left foot causing Ireland some difficulty.
And he's just looking to feed it into an area, isn't he, Yamal, every time back on his left foot. But good goalkeeping again by Jason Healy.
Again, the Spaniards into more possession in the centre of the park. Ireland happy enough to sit off inside their own half here and just soak it up. You know, plays it back to John Martin.
They're the passes, they're the ones that kill you in between the two midfielders, Luke Kerr and Romeo. Just have to be very, very careful of those, keep their shape, keep the distance.
Oh, the goalkeeper slips, but retrieves the situation, Jason Healy.
And then how composed was he to play the pass with his left foot?
Nervous moment, but credit to him. Getting the ball away, and Ireland now it's possession in the centre of the park. Here's Najratzi, just a loose touch. Sees it scoot away from him. Now Spain with John Martin regaining control of the situation. Again, looking for Lamine Yamal on this right-hand side. Corey O'Sullivan. Lovely little reverse ball from Yamal, and now Spain inside the Irish cover momentarily. Back out to Yamal. Left-footed ball in is a good one towards that back post area. The header came in from Javier Fernandez. Never really troubled Jason Healy. But again, it comes from Yamal.
It's these two down the right-hand side, Yamal and Fernandez, always looking to link up with him. Very, very clever player. And Arazzi has to do his defensive work as well. I know it's obviously difficult, it's going to be hard for him. He wants to go forward and attack himself, but he has to give Danny McGrath a little bit of help inside there, because that lad Hernandez is causing all sorts of problems, the positions he's picking up.
Yamal has scored twice in the last 2 games for Spain in this competition. Made his first team debut for Barcelona last month against Real Betis. He's the youngest ever player to play for Barcelona, 15 years of age. Real talent. So Ireland having to try and keep tabs on him this evening.
Incredible to play for Barcelona, 15. Wow.
Spain now going down the far side of the park. Ball nudged forward for the run of Daniel Munoz. Daniel Babb is there for Ireland. Hidegkuti now pushing out on possession. Finds its way towards Pau Kuperarser. And in towards Pau Prim now. San Marino.
Again, they have a really good shape, the Irish team. Let it go back, over and back, as much as it wants once it's all in front of you. Not allowing those passes in between the lines, as I say, between the midfield players.
Martin slides it forward.
That's the trigger point there for Romeo, nipping out and just getting a tackle in.
As well. And Ireland win it back, and now a ball to chase down the far side for Mason Melia. Holds it up for Ireland as they try and get themselves up the park. They've had to face a lot of Spanish possession in the first 13 minutes here. This is Jake Grant. Out towards Hidegkuti. Grant once more for Ireland. They now enjoy a spell with the ball. Launched forward, looking for Hidegkuti, who had gone infield. Nándor picks it up. Hidegkuti has made a decent run inside Luke Kerr here. Looks for the ball in and does get it. Gets the ball across too, but too close to Raúl Jiménez in the Spanish goal. But better from Ireland in an attacking sense. Their first meaningful foray forward in this match as Spain now go instantly down the other end.
Yeah, that's the danger, just when you push 3 or 4 forward. Obviously, look at the space to have now to play into as we try to recover back into our shape. But very good play, Nándor. Lovely little pass out to Luke here. Romeo made a brilliant run for midfield. He'll be disappointed with the final ball, but really good play from the Irish team.
Yamal gets inside the challenge, forced backwards then towards Marino. Dean. Matos gets a touch for Spain, and Ireland now setting up that defensive shape once more. First 15 minutes have flown by, still goalless in Budapest. It's also goalless in the other match between England and France. Remember, there won't be any extra time in this match. It's straight to penalties if it finishes level at the end of the 90 minutes. Here's Yamal. Again, trying to get on that left boot. Weaves his way inside a couple of challenges. Still Yamal. And then Nándor gets in there for Ireland to win it back. Can they hurt Spain now in the counter? Hidegkuti tries to go past the challenge. Whistle sounds for a Spain free kick.
Brilliant from Nándor, just helping out his midfield players, and he has to do that when we're out of possession. And then a lovely little shimmy just to get away from him, to break free for Hidegkuti on the left-hand side. Unfortunately, just couldn't get away from the fullback, but brilliant play from Hidegkuti.
San Marino plays it inside to John Martin. Bernados to Prim. Pushing up there for Ireland. Spain were looking for a free kick, and well, they get it belatedly. Looked like the referee was going to let that one go. Ireland not happy with the decision in the end.
Initially it looked a free, but then as you say, Carl, it looked like the referee was letting it go, and I thought we were away in a break.
Here comes Spain again. Yamal gets inside and gets another left-footed ball in, and that's the third ball of that variety we've seen from Yamal already. I think all three have ended up with Jason Healy eventually taking control.
That's 3 or 4 times, you're right, Carl. Dangerous ball in, but Jason Healy kept his eye on it. Could have been easy there for him to take his eye off the ball, go into that far post, but did really well. But this won't have been anything new to the Irish players. This was always going to be the pattern of the game. The opening 20 minutes, I think Colin will be quite happy with our defensive shape. We've kept them at arm's length, really. Jason Healy hasn't had a save to make, a couple of those dangerous crosses. And when we have got up the pitch, we can cause them problems. Thought he might have went into a silly area there, but we can cause them problems, and that's the thing. They will offer you chances. The fact that they push so many forward, and the likes of Yamal won't track back. It's just, can you get enough of those attacks and get up the pitch to obviously cause them the problems.
Reno for Spain, bringing it up towards the halfway line. Ireland retreating again into that defensive shape. No clear-cut opportunity for either side thus far. It's John Martin. And once more, There's a ball in around the back, and this might work out for Spain. This time ball into the area, flicked on by Mark Guiu. Didn't get enough contact on it to direct it goalward, and eventually out for a goal kick.
Good play again, they're just looking for that gap, aren't they? Luke here that time gets in around the back from the left goal, Daniel Munoz. But Jake Grant does enough just to put him off. That's all you need to do. And you'll accept crosses into the box, because that's what obviously we'd be strong defensively in that regard, that we can deal with those. It's when they're the little nippy fellas in around the edge of the box and they're playing 1-2s around your call, and that's when you have the trouble and the problems and runners off you. But you take crosses into the box and take your chances in defending them, and so far, as I say, we've defended really well.
Back to Jason Healy now for Ireland. Jake Grant. Corey O'Sullivan just about keeps it in.
Poor ball in the end. He could have went into Mason Emilia's feet there. Just gives possession back to Spain.
Well, it's totally different context really for Ireland, isn't it, compared to that Hungary match on Tuesday, when they had so many chances. It felt like in that game was a far more open contest, and it's enjoyed so many attacking opportunities, but haven't been able to carve open anything really of note thus far.
No, and these are the challenges at this age, Carl. You know, it's still very much a developmental age. You're looking to progress them forward onto the 19s, 21s, into the senior team eventually, so you're going to face all different challenges. This is one certainly that obviously of course, young players want to be on the ball, expressing themselves, creating chances like the Hungary game, but you're going to have to face stiffer opposition and have nights like this, and this is a really good learning curve for them as well. And you look at the defensive shape that they have so far, really, really good in the game.
Reno cuts inside the challenge of Arazzi, then hits the deck. He's looking for a free kick. He's not going to get it, but Ireland now have to scramble back for that loose ball. This is Corey O'Sullivan who has to concede the throw-in. Arazzi there putting in the challenge. Spain felt they should have had the free kick.
Like, we're up against a team here that have young fellas playing for the best teams in Europe, when you put it into context, you know, so that's the scale of the task. But I think they've conducted themselves really well so far. This fella's a real danger.
Mal now gets it in right-footed this time. That's gone out for a goal kick.
Keep him on his right foot.
It's got a glimpse there of the Irish support. I certainly hear them in the last two matches. Ireland scoring 3 against Wales, 4 against Hungary. Ball into the middle for Hidegkuti. Spain win it back with Yamal now. And space in the middle this time. Might they get a shot away here? They will! Oh, what a goal that is! And Spain lead. Alejandro Granados opens the scoring with a brilliant effort from range. It's come in the 22nd minute. Well, Yamal playing the ball through, and Granados with the super strike with that left foot. And Spain lead by a 1-0.
Look at the quality of that finish, Carl. Absolutely fantastic, and that's what you get punished for at this level. We're trying to play out from the back. Romeo Hidegkuti takes a heavy touch, they nip in. Yamal plays one pass square into the central area, where Granados on his lovely left foot takes 2 or 3 steps and bends it into that far corner, giving Jason Healy no chance. Brilliant goal from Spain.
It's one of the goals of the tournament so far. Not much Jason Healy could do about that one. And Alejandro Granados gives Spain the lead. They've had plenty of possession in the opening 22 minutes, but in terms of clear-cut chances, there haven't been any really for Spain so far, but it comes from a long-range effort. And Ireland now behind in this game.
Yeah, no clear-cut chances at all, and as I said, I mentioned a moment ago about you'd accept crosses and you probably would accept shots from distance as well, but when they're the quality of that shot, it's very difficult for the goalkeeper, but it comes from, as I say, us trying to play out from the back. And that's the thing, that's what the team are encouraged to do. I've no issue with that whatsoever. It's just you take that sloppy touch and they're on you, call, and that's all it takes, a moment of quality, and they have quality all over the pitch.
So what can Ireland do in terms of working their way back into this game? Well, they've got a free kick, and then possibly some frustration showing now in the parts of some of the Irish players. Razi in there. Ireland have got the free kick. Sense Milos Milanovic, our match referee from Serbia, will just want to calm things down here. And it's a yellow card for Razi. Here's the initial incident again. But it's for the afters. Razi has picked up the booking for.
After winning the free kick as well, he just raised his arms and pushed the lad over. Nothing in it, but you can see why the referee has given the yellow card. But this is a really good position now, Carl. A chance for an in-swing and free kick. Get a couple of big boys up from the back as well.
Can Ireland trouble Spain for the first time in this game? In the 25th minute, Razi now with this free kick. Just has too much airtime on it for everybody, and all the way through.
Yeah, I'd be disappointed with that, because they are opportunities, set pieces. Just overhits it. But no need to panic just yet. I said the opening 20 minutes was fine, Carl. You know, I said the pattern of the game was always going to be like this, where they're dominating possession, but they weren't troubling us in any way, bar that one little error then. But the game plan won't change as such. It'll still be the same for the next, keep it till half time even like this, and I wouldn't worry. And then obviously there's going to come a point where if you're still in the game at that stage, of course you're going to have a go, a right go. But for the here and now, I don't think much will change.
Well, we know there are goals in this Irish team. Scored 8 in the group stage in total. Even in that defeat to Poland, they managed to get on the board, losing 5-1 in the opening match. 3 goals against Wales, 4 against Hungary. There's another free kick in the centre of the park here.
Yeah, and this is a ridiculous free kick. It's not a handball. It's ridiculous from the ref.
Spain eager to keep things moving here as quickly as they can. Shifting it out to Yamal. Yamal is fouled. That's happened just outside the area, but it's a yellow card for Corey O'Sullivan. And it's a free kick for Spain.
Yeah, they're remonstrating with the ref. I think they want more. It's no more than a yellow card. But the danger this fella possesses, Yamal, 15 years of age, Carl, he's a serious player. And it's hard for Corey O'Sullivan one-on-one.
Well, it certainly was outside the area, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a yellow card and no more.
Now still down on the turf.
Yeah, he's a fantastic talent. And that's where he's going to need help, Corey O'Sullivan and Arazzi. I mentioned the fact that he wants to go the other way, but he has to maybe try and help Corey O'Sullivan now, even more so now the fact that he's on a yellow card. Luke here does that brilliant on the far side, doubling up with his fullback. And we spoke about him cutting inside a lot on his left. That time he went down the outside, and from a standing start as well, how explosive he is to get away.
Probably the first time we've seen him try to do that in the match so far. Just showed how quick he is. Lamine Yamal back up on his feet. He may well take this free kick if he's okay to continue.
You need to get well used to getting kicked, that fella. That won't be the first time. It certainly won't be the last.
Now Spain trying to create something here from this opportunity. In a good position. Now Prim takes it eventually, tries to play it low across, but doesn't quite come off. Then it's directed back by Daniel Munoz, but harmlessly wide in the end.
Yeah, it was looking at the training ground, but Danny McGrath read it well, just nips in to get the interception, falls to the left full on his weaker right foot, and nothing shot really.
Approaching the half-hour mark, Spain leading by a goal to nil. Alejandro Granados giving the Spaniards the lead in the 22nd minute with a brilliant goal from long range.
Frustrating, obviously, for Melia. That's the first time he's probably been involved, and he wants to dribble with it instead of maybe just playing the pass, but that's because he's had such a lack of action really so far in the opening half hour. It's always going to be like that up front on your own against Spain. You're going to have very few involvements in the game, but when you do have them, you have to take care of the ball.
Here's Yamal again, inside on that left boot. Yamal blocked down by Jake Grant. Back out to Pau Prim. John Martin now for Spain, but they've bossed possession in this match as they were expected to do. Hidegkuti does well for Ireland to win it back. Daniel Ba. Spain really dominating possession now. Ireland haven't really strung a meaningful passage together really. It's Yamal again with the ball at his feet. Bartzi, and out to the far side this time, Spain goal. Hare standing up there to try and challenge. Then Razzi races in, applying the pressure on the goal scorer Granados.
Yeah, it's good from him again. He's helping out those two as he has to in that midfield area. That's Razzi.
Mal, loose touch almost allowed Razzi to come in and win it back, but Spain retained possession. Now with Marino. Martin shifts it to his left where Cabarzi gets involved. Nathan Melia applying himself in a defensive position, rushing up on possession, almost getting a foot in there too. Spain though keeping a hold of it well. This time Yamal had strayed into an offside position.
Yeah, good defensively again from Ireland, keeping their shape very well. Everything's in front of them, going back and sideways and over and back. It's been very, very good from them from that point of view. Obviously in possession, it's a different story because it's so hard just to get the ball back off them. But I think they've acquitted themselves really well the opening half an hour because they're up against top quality here, Carl. People need to understand that as well, the level that these boys are playing at and how good they are and the pedigree they have, all those factors.
There's the pressure from the Spanish players winning the ball back. They have a throw-in. Colin O'Brien just giving his side some instructions. But as you say, you don't think there'll be too many changes in terms of approach here from Ireland, Alan?
All right, none whatsoever. The game plan will stay exactly the same up until you want to get to the point where maybe an hour, 70 minutes in that it's still 1-0, then you can change and have a right go. But for now and right up till half-time and into the second half, nothing needs to change. Let the pattern of the game be like this. That's the way it's going to be anyway. But if you start throwing bodies forward and chasing the game, they'll just pick you off the quality that they have, Carl.
Here they come again, Spain. Hernandez.
And I know it's a tough shift for these lads, but that's exactly what you have to do. It might even mean a couple of lads coming in off the bench to change the game for us if you're still obviously in a position where you can chase it at that stage.
Ireland do have the squad as Yamal now goes that outside route once again. Corey O'Sullivan standing tall. Back outside it comes and then chipped goalwards, and Jason Healy just readjusts his footing in time to get a hold of that one. Ryan Hernandez swinging the right boot at it.
Again, it's good from Corey O'Sullivan. 1v1 is very, very difficult against that lad, how good he is, Yamal. But he's coped quite well with him. I know he's had plenty of touches and he's obviously a serious talent. I think Corey O'Sullivan, bar that tackle where he's picked up the yellow, but I think he's done quite well. Here's the chance.
This one has fallen nicely for Ireland. Trying to play that one across to Razzi. Might get to him eventually. Nipped away from him, but Razzie does well to hold off the challenge and then sprays it to the far side, but that's cut out before it reaches Luke Kerr. But Ireland do have it back now with Jake Grant. Turley to Grant. Danny McGrath back to Grant again. And even a passenger play like this for Ireland just to regain some energy as well, because they've been chasing after the ball for so much of this first half.
Yeah, it just needs a bit of movement in front of him now as they're looking for that pass to progress the game forward.
They're playing that forward pass, but not for a throw-in off the Spanish player. Grant to Turley. Lovely little leave there from Luke Kerr to allow Naj Razzie take up possession. Then the throw-in goes the way of Spain in the end.
He's trying Naj Razzie, I'll give him that. He's really trying to make things happen, get on the ball. Really good energy he's playing with, even defensively, but going forward as well. He's been heavily involved. I'd like to see a bit more from Arazzi on this side, but obviously he's up against the lad Yamal, who's having all the ball, but just like to see him get a little bit more involved in the game. Naj Razzie is trying.
You can hear the Irish support now in the background. Enjoying a better spell now, Ireland, in the last couple of minutes, as that ball played forward, looking for the run of Melia. He's bundled over and wins the free kick. That's good play from Mason Melia.
Brilliant play, chasing that ball into the corner, but he has the physical presence just to hold things up, and eventually the centre half, John Martin, bundles him over. And again, this is a really good, strong, promising position for a set piece now.
So here's a chance to trouble Spain. Ireland did have a free kick through Naj Razzie earlier on in this first half. That didn't quite come to anything. So let's see, can they make something of this? Razzie's going to take this one.
Just concentrate on the delivery. It's so important. These are real chances and opportunities now, so just concentrate on the delivery.
Well, the Irish player has gone down. The referee's going to go in and inspect here. That's Freddie Turley. Being chased there by Javier Fernandez. Now it looks like we're okay to go. Here comes the delivery now for Arazzi. Hangs that one up, and the goalkeeper came and didn't make any connection. Grant picks it back up for Ireland. And back outside, drilled in. Turley will keep a hold of it for Ireland. Back out it comes to Turley.
Yeah, that's my point. You see the Spanish keeper flapping at things there, Carl. Generally, when you watch the Spanish teams like that, they don't like the big aerial balls into the box, and that's why I'm saying they're real chances and opportunities for us.
Spain have got it back now in the middle. This is Prim. 8 minutes to go to half-time. Still Alejandro Granado's goal in the 22nd minute. The difference between the sides here. The other quarter-final is still goalless. England 0, France 0. That too kicked off at 7 o'clock Irish time. Earlier today, Germany beat Switzerland on penalties after a 1-1 draw. Poland were 3-2 winners over Serbia. Again, another ball forward from Spain. Nice play then, looking for the run of Yamal, maybe down this right-hand side. Didn't quite come off, and out for a goal kick. Is it a case now for Ireland, Alan, of just trying to get to half-time?
Yeah, absolutely, Carl. Yeah, you're playing kind of little batches, and as I say, we're at the point where first 10-15 minutes you're sizing them up. Of course they would have watched videos and done all their homework on them and known all about the quality that they possess, but it's only when you get a feel of it in the game yourself and know just how good they are, and obviously they've seen that. And now you get well, that's a free kick. You get to the stage where obviously the closer it gets to half-time, just don't concede now, because they're well in the game. Paul, like you think of all the possession Spain have had, but possession isn't everything. They haven't troubled Healy once with shots or creating chances. Only that one moment of quality from the edge of the box is all we've seen. So they're still well in the game.
Here's Yamal, weaving away from a challenge or two.
Yeah, and Colin O'Brien will know that, and that's something that obviously he'll be just kind of reiterating that in half-time to them, and that's the message, that they're still very much in this game. And that's why, I mean, the likes of set pieces are so important, and make them count. Their shape has been really, really good.
Ball finds its way to Marino. Val is hugging the right-hand side, and here comes the ball towards Yamal again. Ball across the area. Jake Grant gets in the way. He's done very well so far, Jake Grant. A couple of crucial blocks in this match. Then
that's the one, sorry Carl, that's the one that Arazzi has to do more. And I know it's not his game defensively, but he needs to be in tighter to Danny McGrath, not let that ball through that gap out to Yamal. Now nothing came of it because of Grant's block, but that's just to have that little bit of awareness to be more vigilant defensively. It's fine if it goes on the outside of you, then you can obviously get out, but once it goes on the inside of you, you're out of the game, you're gone.
Well, Sullivan does well, comes out on top against Yamal. And now Grant has to scramble back, gets there in time. Hui was providing the pressure. Ball across then, and just a little bit too much pace on it.
Yeah, he's unlucky because it was a really good pass by Healy. Grant has done very well this first half. You mentioned him there, Carl, a couple of good, really big interventions and blocks. I think Corey O'Sullivan has also done very well, considering he's up against probably the best player in the pitch, probably one of the best players in Europe. In his 1v1 situations, he went round and won. He obviously got the yellow, but bar that, he's done very, very well in dealing with him.
Here comes Spain again up towards the edge of the Irish area, and a chance for the shot here. Blazed over this time from Juan Hernandez, but that's another big chance for Spain. Ireland relieved to see that one fly over the crossbar.
Just where the runners are just off them in midfield, you switch off for a second. But again, it's Grant getting out to him. Does enough just to put him off. Maybe he's leaning back. Hernandez blazes over the bar.
So a let off for Ireland. 4 minutes to go to half-time. Healy goes long. Header won by Hidegkuti. Break spill, but Ireland unable to get a hold of it, and now possibilities here for Spain. This time Yamal lacked the quality with that final ball.
Yeah, it was just a sloppy touch when we were in trouble there. There was a 3v1.
Again, that loose ball in the middle to be won, and Ireland have got it through Razzi, running at that Spanish defence. Razzi still going inside the area. It's still there. And Mason Emilia almost got a toe on it before Raul Jimenez came out and claimed it for Spain, but Razzi running at that Spanish defence. It's the first time we've seen it in this match.
I love his attitude, Carl. He's carrying the fight to this Spanish team nearly on his own, single-handedly this first half, both defensively and attacking-wise as well. Full of heart, full of character. He might be the smallest little man on the pitch, but he's full of heart and full of character, carrying the fight to them.
Juan Hernandez again now for Spain. Had that chance a couple of moments ago. But better from Ireland going the other way. Reasons for encouragement heading towards half-time.
So important, you don't concede them. So important. These minutes are vital.
Over 2 minutes of normal time left to play in this first half, as Yamal now gets into possession again for Spain. Inside to Bremen now. Spain moving at quickly. Granados. Bartzi. Marino now. Again looking for Yamal. This time Arazzi back in that defensive position. Here comes another delivery, but another ball into the arms of Jason Healy.
Right.
Yamal looking slightly frustrated, you could say. I know his final ball helped create the goal for Spain in this first half, but he has had a lot of possession. But I think that's 4 balls now.
He's been quite wasteful,
Jason Healy.
Considering the quality he has, you're right, Carl, he has been quite wasteful.
Credit the Irish defence as well. The throw in for Spain now as we approach the interval here. Nándor Granados goal giving Spain a 1-0 advantage at the Nándor Stadium in Budapest, as Spain now attack down this right-hand flank once again. Yamal combines with Hernandez. Now Yamal inside the area. Another ball in from him, but over everybody. Luke Kerr will get over there and clear it for Ireland. Emilia's the only man up front, outnumbered by 2 Spanish defenders, and Spain win it back. The ball out to the far side this time for Spain. This is Munoz. Went for the return, but won't get there in time.
Yeah, again, good from Ireland defensively. The far side just the previous attack, lovely little 1-2 by Spain, but again, Yamal wasteful with his right foot, overhits the cross, then eventually comes down the left-hand side. It's Mason Melia tracking back and stops the 1-2, eventually goes out of play. But I think the first half has been fine, Carl. They were always going to have so much possession. We're up against one of the best teams in Europe here, not only collectively, individually as well, some serious talents. And you don't mind everything when it's all in front of you like that. They'll be disappointed with the concession of the goal, but it was a moment of quality, and that's what you get punished for when you give the ball away. But the game plan certainly won't change. This little man has been great, Nadrazi. He's really carried the fight, picked up a couple of free kicks in these areas as well that we just need to be better from. But we're still very much in this game, Paul, very much.
There is Nadrazi getting the ball back to Corey O'Sullivan. Referee has stopped play here because Mason Melia is down. Picked up a knock in that last passage of play.
Yeah, and that'll be the message from Colin O'Brien to them at half-time. Defensively, they've been sound. They've been very, very good. They haven't carved us open once.
Looked like a sore one for Mason Melia. Looked like it could have been a clash of knees. It's okay to continue, it looks like.
Run it off, big strong boy. But he'll be pivotal now come the second half as well. I know it's probably been frustrating for him this first half, not being involved, not getting many touches, but his moment will come.
And that's the half-time whistle here at the Nándor Stadium. So Spain leading out the Republic of Ireland by 1-0 at half-time. Alejandro Granados with the goal after 22 minutes, a stunning long-range effort. But Ireland hanging in there thereafter, and they're still well in this game, Al.
Yeah, 100%, and that will be the message, as I say, Colin. It's been a decent first half. Defensively been very good. The shape of the team has been very good. A couple of set pieces we'll be disappointed with, but we can't trouble them from that area. And as I said, the longer it stays 1-0, we're very, very much in this game.
So half-time here, we'll be back with full second half coverage very shortly indeed. But at half-time, it's Spain 1, the Republic of Ireland 0.
Tell me you're looking out for someone.
Got several names.
William H. Bonney, Kid Antrim,
And Billy the Kid.
My family came to America on the promise of fair treatment for all.
You have been arrested for murder.
It was self-defense.
I like outlaws.
Believe me, I really do not want to kill you.
Billy the Kid starts Monday at 9:35 on RTE2, with all episodes streaming after on RTE Player.
You live one way your whole life.
Heavenly Father, thank you for this food.
George should change his name from Four Man to Poor Man.
To hurt.
What's my name now, fool?
Foreman is the new heavyweight champion of the world.
The first thing I wanted to ask you was, the first time you met George Foreman, what was the thing that stood out the most, and did it change your performance in any way?
What stood out the most was how massive of an individual he is. He's a big guy. You know, like I was shocked at how big he was. You know, I'm not a small guy myself, but I felt like he was a giant in comparison. So, I mean, I'm not sure how much that impacted my going into the role, because we know him as Big George Foreman. But when I saw him, I understood why.
Were there any insights he gave you into his life in those conversations that weren't apparent to you beforehand?
There were some things that I had speculated, but there were other things that I wasn't incredibly privy of. I mean, he talked about his fighting style when he was young, and he talked about recklessness. He fought with a certain sense of recklessness, and that's the way that I went into performing the early days of fighting. You know, it's coupled with a little bit of rage, and you get that recklessness, and then we practiced all of Mr. Foreman's fight indicators, where his power indicators were coming from, to best interpret, what he was doing in the ring at that time.
George Foreman ain't no new champ. He is the new chump. We gonna get it on because we don't get along. Foreman goes down! Who said that?
Nobody said nothing, George.
George. Oh, George.
Your heart stopped. We thought you was dead. I was.
What was harder, keeping the weight off, putting it on, or taking it back off again?
It was harder putting it on. I, ate 7,000 calories a day.
You're very welcome back to Budapest. Almost set to go for the second half here between the Republic of Ireland and Spain in this European Championships quarter-final. Spain leading by 1-0 at the break, thanks to a stunning effort in the 22nd minute from Alejandro Granados, but Ireland still in touch. They look to make their way through to the semi-final stage, and of course if they advance to the semi-finals, that'll also book their place in the Under-17 World Cup later on this year. Doesn't look to be any changes to either side for the start of this second half. Ireland playing in that white jersey tonight. Danny McGrath will get things back underway. Still very, very warm here in Budapest. It's still over the 20-degree mark, and I suppose given the way, Alan, that Ireland had to play in that first half, soaking up so much pressure, that it's bound to sap the energy from the players.
Yeah, absolutely, Carl, and that's obviously going to tell in the latter stages, and that's why obviously your squad comes into play, and Colin obviously hasn't made that many changes really. He stuck with the same team, bar bringing in Romeo after the first game. There's been a couple of changes at right full with Daniel Babb and Caleb Hartnett. Brought a couple of lads on in the earlier round, just maybe towards the end, give them a bit of game time, but in terms of the actual 11 that they have started, it's been predominantly this 11 throughout the tournament, so that will tell I suppose the more we go on into this half, because you're exerting so much energy chasing the ball. But it's an opportunity then for the squad players to come on, and hopefully, as I mentioned, you need everybody, especially when you're up against the quality of Spain, you need everybody to dig in and put in a little shift at some point. And hopefully that may be the case the longer this stays at 1-0. Because I still believe we're very much in the game, Carl. It's the pattern of the game has certainly kind of played out exactly as I expected to. Spain were always going to dominate play, dominate possession. It was about remaining very vigilant defensively.
Here's an early chance for Spain. It was a shot from Mark Guiu. Well saved in the end by Jason Healy. Guiu had quiet enough first half.
Yeah, I'm just thinking if I'm not wrong, but that may be their first shot on target from Guiu, and obviously he's been lethal in the tournament so far. He scored 3 goals, and I think he scored 3 in the qualifying phase as well. So they've shut him out. That's what I'm saying. Defensively, we've been good. So just stay in the game right up until a point where we can maybe commit more players forward and have a right go. But so far, so good. Bar that one moment, the quality we've seen with Spain. Unfortunately, we gave the ball away. The square pass across to Granados, and a brilliant finish from him. But the game plan won't change right up until maybe the second part of this second half.
Turley gets that one back to Jason Healy. The other quarter-final between England and France also remains, it's still goalless rather. Earlier today, Germany and Poland advancing to the semi-finals. So that is the state of play at these under-17 European Championships in Hungary. Ireland enjoying some possession in the early stages of this second half. Jake Grant back to Jason Healy, who drives that one forward. Mason Melia had just dropped a little bit deeper. That allows Spain to knock it back to their goalkeeper, Raul Jimenez.
If you just notice there, a slight change. Look, Arazzi is over on this right-hand side now. Luke Kerr has gone over onto the left. And I've no doubt that's because you have to, obviously, I mentioned numerous times about Luke Kerr's defensive duties are very, very good, doubling up at the fullback. He's over there on that left-hand side now, trying to help Corey O'Sullivan and double up on the brilliant Yamal on that Spanish team. But Arazzi, it might free him up on this right-hand side that if we can get enough ball to him, that he's not chasing back towards his own goal, that he can be going the other way. But again, a clever move from Colin O'Brien.
Spain knocking it around with a real purpose.
Yeah, look, you can see in the shot there how deep Luke Kerr is. He's literally side by side with Yamal while Corey O'Sullivan is offering cover in that left back position. So not only is it clever, I think it's a wise move and the right move from Colin, because he's such a danger, that boy.
Well, virtually everything for Spain went through Yamal in the first half, and he did provide the final pass before the goal.
These are the in-game changes now. You have to look to, you know, try to be cute and clever again, just to remain in the game. Because if we were to fall behind, the next goal is obviously huge. If Spain were to get a second, obviously it's a mountain to climb. But as I keep saying, whilst it's 1-0, we're still very much in it.
Strong challenge there from Daniel Bad, putting it out for a corner kick for Spain. If Ireland were to get back on level terms and it were to finish level, game would go straight to penalties, no extra time. Well, Spain now get ready to take this corner kick coming from this left-hand side. Guiu and Kabartzi in there for Spain. Spaniards go short this time. Now the ball comes in, but that hasn't gone to plan at all. Daniel Munoz with the attempted final effort, but never got a hold of it. Out behind for a goal kick. Angle ball, that's a good ball as well. Luke Kerr. As Ireland now look to set themselves on a first attack. Melia's making a run. Instead, it finds its way to that far side for Ireland. Razzi plays it inside. O'Sullivan is inside the area. Now the delivery comes. Just too much airtime on that one. And out behind for a goal kick, but early signs of promise in this second half for Ireland.
Yeah, he'll be disappointed with the final ball, but again, it's a great break down the left-hand side. Corey O'Sullivan stepping into the game, was down that left-hand side, plays the ball out to Razzi. I thought he could have put it in himself with his left foot, but he checked back, playing a 1-2 with Corey O'Sullivan. Eventually, when it fell to Razzi, he overhit the cross again. But promising play. If we can get advanced high enough up the pitch, I do think we can cause them problems, Carl.
Well, the half-time graphic showed us that Ireland had no chances in the first half, no attempts, none on target. But as Alan says, they have shown at certain stages that they're capable of troubling that Spanish defence. Free kick for Spain now.
It's soft. That would annoy me now, that one.
And Spain had the opportunity to get the ball back down and keep themselves in possession. They dominated possession in the first half, but that is how Ireland expected the game to go as well. This is John Martin spreading it to the far side. Marino. And now Yamal has to come in on that left foot. And now looking to find a pass. Gets it inside. This is Martin again. Ireland setting into that defensive formation as they did for so many periods of play in that first half, as Kubarsi goes on a foray forward. That's a useful looking ball as well. Pulled back and the chance! And it's a brilliant save from Jason Healy. The header from Javier Fernandez. Wonderful build-up play from Spain. The ball in from Daniel Munoz, and the header was straight at Jason Healy, but he had to get a strong hand to it.
Oh, it's a brilliant save, a brilliant build-up play, but that happens because Arazzi switches off again defensively. If Luke Kerr is on this side, I don't think that cross is coming in. But once it does come in, it's a brilliant save from Healy.
So here comes the corner kick now for Spain. Granados whips it in, but Ireland clear it pretty comfortably. Jake Grant has played well so far.
Yeah, and he's grown into the competition. He obviously had a tough day out the opening day, as did most. But I think his partnership with Freddie Turley has gotten better with each game, and he's certainly been very commanding tonight in all his defensive work.
Grant playing at Crystal Palace. As Spain now go down that far side. Yamal has 3 Irish defenders for company. Trying to cut back on that left boot perhaps. And Ireland defending it pretty well. Luke Kerr and Corey O'Sullivan combining.
Yeah, and if you ever wanted a bit of perspective on that, that young lad, Yamal, is Barcelona, played in the first team, facing up against Shamrock Rovers at St. Pat's Call. That's the reality of the situation here. So the boys have been doing absolutely brilliant.
Corey O'Sullivan only got a card as well from the first half, so just has to be careful. As Spain now ready themselves for another delivery from the wide area. Again, the referee has been keeping a close eye on everything at set piece time throughout this match, and just speaking to Kubarsi and Daniel Babb this time. Now Ireland getting set to defend this corner kick. Here comes the delivery. Cleared away, but only to the edge of the area where Hernandez was lurking. Headed away well by Kerr, and now Ireland looking to go on the counter. Ball in over the top here. Just had too much on it for the run of Arazzi. But Spain were open there. And now Ireland win it back high up the field. Can they make something of this? Ball into the middle. And you could see what they were trying to do with the pass, looking for the run of Melia. But that's good from Ireland.
Yeah, very good. Razzi again, trying to play that killer pass, just overhit it, but Danny McGrath was right up on the game. Nick's possession as well. Just pegged us back a little bit here, but it was really good pressure from Ireland.
Ireland keeping a hold of the ball well. Grant now. And towards Hidegkuti, who's surely fouled, and he was.
Yeah, but even moments like that will give us heart, it'll give us hope.
Hidegkuti doing well as Ireland go down that left-hand flank again. Good pace from Razzi to win it. Here comes another ball in. Not a bad ball either, towards the edge of the area. And then the follow-up from Hidegkuti. Just didn't get a clean connection on it. The defender was there as well.
That's brilliant again. We're playing the game in their half now. Getting into the faces call. Razzi again getting down the left-hand side. A brilliant run, breaking from midfield. plays the ball back to Luke here, and a good ball into the box, and that's where you want Ike Arazzi coming in at the back post. I know it's been a difficult night for him in terms of doing the defensive work, but that's where he wants to be, coming in at that back post. And again, more hope for this Irish team.
Good start to this second half from Ireland. 11 minutes in, Spain still leading by that goal to 0, but as Alan says, Ireland showing more promise in the attacking third since half-time. Growing in belief. Spain, though always looking so composed in possession, they've had the lion's share of the ball in this match. As Marino plays it forward, but that's a loose one. And Danny McGrath gets it away for Ireland. Win the free kick then.
Yeah, he's played very well, Danny McGrath. Another one who's grown into the competition.
Now Ireland down that left-hand side, bringing it in field is Najrazi. Here's Arazzi now with that switch to the right-hand flank for this second half. McGrath just has to scramble and get it away to Turley before the challenge came in. Still Freddie Turley. Now Daniel Babb.
And a real feature in her play the other night was Freddie Turley stepping into the midfield area. We haven't seen it at all yet tonight. That's the first time he's made the break, and it's just a sign of us growing in confidence, growing into the game, having more possession, more attacks.
That's the Irish support you can hear in the background as well, but Ireland have coughed up possession here. Spain going in the other direction.
Oh, brilliant Romeo.
Then Yamal just loses his footing under pressure from Romeo Akachukwu. It's a good spell for Ireland, and certainly can see the side growing in confidence all over the field. They look to get themselves back on level terms in this Under-17 European Championships quarter-final. We're in the quarter-final on a couple of occasions, 2017, 2018. But Spain, 9 times winners of this competition. Country with real pedigree across all the age grades, and
we're finding it easier to play out from the back now as well.
Akachukwu does well. Here comes another delivery. Took a little bit of a deflection on the way through. Mason Melia was in there, but in the end it's claimed by Raul Jimenez. So as we approach the hour mark, still finely poised here at the Nándor Stadium in Budapest. Alejandro Granada's goal in the 22nd minute. A stunning effort it was too, from outside the Irish area, giving Spain that slender advantage.
It's just a little bit sloppy call.
Making 1 or 2 mistakes that they weren't making in the first half. There's Yulan Guerrero watching on, the Spanish manager. 14 years as a player with Athletic Bilbao. Enjoyed a lengthy career with them, over 350 appearances, as Danny McGrath pushing up there for Ireland. That ball finds its way through though, and that opens up things now for Spain. This is Guiu inside the area. Hernandez. Ireland have retreated back and look a little bit more solid now.
Yeah, they've done well to recover from that, because that was a brilliant pass. First time a pass we've seen in between Akachukwu and McGrath. And Hernandez, who picks up those lovely little positions, was in on our back four, but as I say, we've recovered quite well back into our shape.
Daniel Munoz is inside. Oh, that's a crucial intervention from Ireland. Daniel Babb was in there defending. And Ireland get it away down the other end of the park, but it'll come back pretty quickly, you would feel. Although that's a loose-looking ball initially anyway into the middle, but Spain managed to hang on to it. you think that Spain might just want to regain a little bit of a foothold here, because Ireland have had the better of it in the last 10 or 12 minutes.
Yeah, and they'll be feeling that as well. They'll know. It's a great pass.
And here comes Spain once more now, running at that Irish defence. Guiu tried to get the shot away, but it's well blocked down. Turley and Jake Grant in there. And Mark Guiu does cut a frustrated figure, because he hasn't got much change out of that Irish defence so far tonight.
The two centre-halves have been brilliant. They've been brilliant for the last three. Since the change happened after the opening game and they put the two of them back centre-half, I think Jake Grant has benefited massively from Freddie Turley being alongside him, and I think Freddie Turley has benefited from having Jake Grant beside him, because the two of them have been excellent.
So Spain making a first change of the night. Izan Marino being called ashore, and Hector Fort being introduced for the closing half hour here. Fort, another player from Barcelona.
Just another one.
And he's making his way across for some immediate involvement to take this throw in. Ireland with plenty of players back in a defensive position as Yamal tries to get on the end of it, but unable to control it, and Danny McGrath does well to get his body in the way then. Razi just unable to keep it on the field of play.
Just too tight, Col. Should have went forward with it, McGrath. I've been impressed with him, Danny McGrath, again. Very, very good. Intelligent off the ball as well in terms of the positions defensively he picks up. Because Hernandez, who I mentioned, was proving a real... I felt he was going to prove a handful in the opening exchanges, but they've limited him as well, because they've been so good in that midfield area and in the positions he's picked up defensively. Danny, you see him close to Hernandez then again there. And then, of course, he's shuffling across this side when the ball comes over here to protect the back four, and he leaves Hernandez. Really good, clever, intelligent midfield play.
Hidegkuti almost got on the end of that little pass through to cut it out, but there's a good ball looking for the run of Lamine Yamal, and he'll keep it on the field of play as well. Just about, but then unable to get the second touch, and Ireland have the goal kick.
Yeah, and they found it a lot harder to get him involved in the game in the second half, Call. That's the first time they've played a ball over the top to him. Everything in the first half was going to his feet, and he was having the freedom of the park to cut inside and do what he wanted and put crosses in without really hurting us. But they found it much more difficult to get him involved in the game, and again, that's that change. Luke Hero over there protecting things. Better there with that pass.
Poor ball out from Daniel Babb, and that would allow Spain back into possession. The other quarter-final remains goalless. England 0, France 0. And in terms of World Cup qualification, if this match was to finish Spain 1, Ireland 0, Ireland would need England to beat France in the other match to earn a spot in the playoff against Switzerland, which would take place on Tuesday. Of course, Ireland will be trying to get back on level terms and try and win this match in their own right, as Spain inside the Irish area again, back towards Yamal. Lofts it up with that left boot, and this one might fall nicely for Spain in the area. It does, and the shot on the end from Javier Fernandez is straight at Jason Healy.
Just a loopy cross this time, but he just gets a nick on it. Guille drops to Fernandez. Again, Freddie Turley closed him down, putting enough pressure on him to even just put him off. Straight at the goalkeeper.
Launched forward by Healy, and then Hidegkuti gets involved in the middle to force it forward for Ireland. Good work from Ireland around that middle third. Hidegkuti and McGrath combining to try and win it back. Then the free conceded.
I don't know about the free, but again, good play, good pressure, closing down, up on the game. McGrath, Hidegkuti.
There's the perceived foul, Alan.
He gets a nick, all right, but he's up and about. Look, nothing wrong with him. Good player, mind you, that wee lad.
25 minutes to go. Ireland still right in this game.
And it feels like that as well, Carl, this second half. Obviously, the first half, they're completely dominating possession. It might not have looked like that on the screen in terms of us being in the game. It certainly feels like it now, and that's the point I was making. With the longer it stays 1-0, and the players sense that themselves, they'll know. Again, brilliant from McGrath, cutting out those passes.
Back towards Hector Fort, the substitute. Jimenez. Now Kabartsi. John Martin. Ireland still looking like a side with lots of energy, even though the temperature is still above 20 degrees. They have been chasing the ball for a lot of this match, but still working really hard. Kabartsi now gets involved once more.
That's been a feature for me really as well in all the games. Their attitude is first class, every one of them. I know it's a big honour for them, you're representing your country, the least you can do is run around, but they do it absolutely brilliantly well, all of them. They've a first class attitude, which bodes well for them in their future careers as well, Colin. You'd like to think a lot of these lads will go on, have a good career in the game. Not all of them will go to the top. Not even one or two of them might even go to the top, we don't know. But certainly in terms of their development, the experience they will gain from this. But one thing that does kind of stick out when you watch them is that they all have a really, really good attitude. Not afraid to work, not afraid to roll up their sleeves, and a bit of quality to go with it.
Spain have another corner kick. Granados has made his way across to take it. The referee really keeping a close eye on things. And underneath that Irish crossbar. That ball doesn't beat the first man at the corner. Luke Kerr clears it away. And Ireland racing up the field. Try and apply some pressure here. Verratti doing really well to get up there as Raul Jimenez cleared his lines. Hidegkuti nods that one down, and that one has found its way towards Mason Melia. You could see what he was trying to do there with that ball to the far side, but doesn't quite come off. And Spain now running at that Irish defence. It's Yamal, still Yamal. Can he get a shot away? Well, eventually has to turn back. He's trying to wind up on that trusty left boot.
He was winding all right. But they did well, plenty of players getting back.
They do look so dangerous, don't they, Spain, when they attack, and when Ireland aren't fully set defensively.
Yeah, and that's the point, a really good one, Colin, when they're not fully set defensively. But when they are set, you see the likes of this, the shape, they've been frustrating them. They find it really hard to break us down. See there, that's really good again. Brilliant. Oh, just a sloppy one.
And Spain now trying to profit from that Irish pass, and there it is. It's the second goal for Spain. And it's Mark Yu in the 69th minute to give Spain some breathing room here. Ireland defending well for so long in this game, but they give away a goal that gives Spain a real platform in this game now. It was Fernandez laying it on a plate for Mark Yu, and Spain lead by 2-0.
Yeah, it's a great play from Fernandez again, and putting on a play for Guiu, and that's his 4th goal as well. But again, it comes from our sloppy play. Look, Freddie Turley doing really well, intercepting the pass, looks for the 1-2 off Nadrazi. Unfortunately, it breaks down off him, and they're in on top of us. And to be fair, it's absolutely brilliant play from a Spain point of view, but that's where you get punished against the elite players and the elite teams, Carl. The 2 goals that Spain have scored have come from us trying to play out and breaking down off us, and they've punished us in the heaviest way possible, and that's a killer goal with 20 minutes to go.
Well, it has been a stout performance from Ireland, but that goal gives Spain now some real breathing room heading into the final 20 minutes here.
Just when we felt they were growing into the game, Carl, and it was looking like we were getting to that stage where 20 minutes to go, you could really have a right go, throw a few more bodies forward. That's a killer.
Mark Yu with the goal. He's 4th in this tournament. He scored 3 as well in elite phase qualifying.
And I feel for Nadrazi because he's worked tirelessly, done really, really well in and out of possession. But it's all a learning curve, Colin, and they'll know that, especially against these elite teams. You give the ball away in the edge of the box like that, you're punished.
Najrazi wins it back for Ireland as they go in search of a response here. Well, does the Ireland approach now have to change, Alan?
Yeah, you're chasing the game now, Carl. You know, it's 2-0. They're going to have a go, but I just felt at 1-0 when we were really kind of growing into it, that we were still in with a real shout. It's an uphill task now, like, to obviously get back into the game. 20 minutes to go. They're just going to take the sting out of it, control it, manage the game now with possession.
And it has been a feature of this match, Spain so composed in possession.
Yeah, they're a fantastic team. Like, I'm sure everybody realises that when you're watching them, but when you think of the level and the teams and the clubs, this fella on the ball, like, it's phenomenal.
Oh, and they've got a third. Right on cue. Lamine Yamal, well, he has threatened that all game. Has had a quieter second half, but given the opportunity off that left boot, he finds the range, and Spain establish a 3-0 lead. Lamine Yamal of Barcelona securing what should be Spain's place now in the semi-finals.
Yeah, that's the softest one of the lot. Jason Healy, you can see it's just his expression on his face there. He knew he should have parried that wide. And I feel for them now because they don't deserve this. Carl, they've put up such a really good showing for 70 minutes. Those 2 goals in quick succession now takes the gloss off the performance a little bit as well, because people will look at that and think 3 or 4-0 as if we've been absolutely battered, which hasn't been the case at all.
Well, Ireland going to make a couple of substitutions. Nixon Ockerson is in. And also coming in is Matthew Moore. Najrazi, one of the players to be withdrawn. So Hidegkuti and Najrazi both withdrawn with 17 minutes of normal time left to play. Nixon Ockerson and Matthew Moore introduced for Ireland. But it is a real mountain to climb now. 2 quick-fire Spanish goals in the space of 3 minutes, turning what had been a pretty closely fought contest in which you felt Ireland had a real chance of nabbing an equaliser, having grown into the game since half-time, has now turned into Spain being in a very comfortable position. Nice little exchange there with Daniel Babb and Danny McGrath. And the flag goes up and Spain get themselves a free kick.
I think Colin O'Brien spoke about it in the press conference as well. By all metrics, we shouldn't be anywhere near these teams, even in terms of qualifying and getting to the stage that we're at quarter-finals. When you think of the resources of what the Spanish players are working off and what most European countries are working off, we're down in the very bottom tier in that regard when you think of full-time coaches at this level and all sorts around the country. And that's something that needs to be addressed. It needs to be, it's okay tuning into a competition and thinking these lads are great and all, and they have been great, and they're all playing at National League level, and that's brilliant, and they'll all go on to do really well in their careers. They need help and investment, and the coaches need help and investment in terms of the facilities and the resources. And I know I probably sound like a broken record now with this kind of stuff, but it's the reality of it, you know. It's the reality of the situation, that the responsibility is on us now to develop players. The days of sending them over to England to finish off their development are long gone, and we have to develop the players as best possible up to the age of 18. Because that's just the landscape right now. And it's all good and well, politicians and the like getting on board and tweeting about how great these lads are and stuff like that. Never mind drafting tweets and sending stuff like that. How can they change and how can they help out in terms of investment to obviously help these lads?
Well, the Irish work rate certainly hasn't dropped. They're applying real pressure on Spain as they try to come out from the back and win a throw-in on the far side. It's still goalless between England and France in the other game. Remember, England need to win that game for Ireland to qualify for the World Cup playoff, for that final World Cup spot on Tuesday.
Yeah, that's another thing all is not lost in that regard as well, Carl. If England were to do us a favour, unbelievable opportunity in a playoff to qualify for a World Cup, which would be phenomenal for these lads.
That World Cup to take place later on this year. Was due to be in Peru, but they were stripped of hosting rights, so yet to be confirmed where that tournament will be held, but it will start in November, last until early December. There's Ireland now, still battling hard. Ball back to Freddie Turley, and now Jake Grant. Angle ball across, looking for the run in behind that Spanish defence, but doesn't quite come off. Well read by Raul Jimenez.
Yeah, it's the second goal that's the killer, really. Because it's just they built themselves up throughout the whole game for that opportunity for the last 20 minutes to throw the kitchen sink at them. And when it's taken away from you like that in an instant, bang on 70 minutes, that's the killer, really. The third goal is just soft, and obviously the keeper will know himself. But it was that second one that kind of finished the match off, really.
And when you consider the amount of possession that Spain have had in this match, Alan, and they've tried to cut Ireland open through their passing routine, but it hasn't really come off, and two of the goals have been from outside the Irish area.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the point we kept making throughout the first half. The defensive shape, and I think the performance has been quite good in that regard. Obviously, you can always improve in possession, but you're playing against Spain. Spain senior teams do this to the best countries in the world. That's what Spain do, you know. But in terms of our defensive shape and discipline, being first class. As you say, that the two goals have come from outside the box, but they found it really difficult in those areas to carve us open, because obviously our shape has been very, very good.
Yamal has picked up a pocket of space. Corey O'Sullivan going across to keep him company. Yamal now in along that end line. Good challenge from Jake Grant. He's had a fine game for Ireland. It helps his side clear their lines, but Spain have got it back straight away.
Yeah, he's been very good, Grant. As have most of them, to be fair, Carl. You have to put it into context in terms of what we're up against here, as we keep saying, but I think they've all acquitted themselves really, really well. I think Colin will be happy with the performance as well, and you have to take learnings from this, that the couple of times that we did try and play out from the back, it only takes a split second, a sloppy pass, bang, they're in on top of you. The first one, still, the lad had a lot to do, Granados, but the quality of his left foot allowed him to finish that in such a brilliant way. The second one, it's Fernandez with the little 1-2 for that man, for centre forward, Guille, and it's just that's just those moments, like, and that happens, you know, especially at the highest level, but it also happens at the highest level at under 17 international football as well, that you just give it a ball away like that and you're punished.
There is Mark Guille, who's going to be withdrawn here for Spain as we head into the final 10 minutes. Hado is going to come in for him for the closing stages. Spain now looking ahead to an appearance in the semi-finals. Turdy goes back to Jason Healy. Ireland composed enough at the back to pass that one out to Daniel Babb.
Yeah, they did well to get out, but Babb, for some reason, checked back. He should have went forward that time. Now we're back to square one.
Now Jake Grant gets a hold of the situation. Freddie Turley. Now Babb once more. Ball down the channel is a good one. As Ireland chase after it through Matthew Moore. Good play from Ireland, and they win a corner kick.
Yeah, good break from Matthew Moore. Obviously just on the pitch, good energy. Breaking forward, wins the corner.
So into the final 10 minutes. Can Ireland get themselves on the mark here in Budapest? That's a good ball in. And it might fall kindly for Ireland in the area. It does. It was Freddie Turley on the spin, trying to find the target. Never really set properly to get a good connection on it.
Yeah, again, the keeper doesn't look very convincing from the set pieces, but just kind of slashed that a little bit. Freddie Turley, as you say, he wasn't set call.
A couple of set pieces that Ireland have had, that you're right about the goalkeeper. He hasn't looked overly convincing. As Hidegkuti picks it up for Ireland in the middle. Here's Daniel Babb now. Turley to Jake Grant. Daniel Babb went to the challenge and wins the free kick. Javier Fernandez committing the foul. Still goalless between England and France in the other quarter-final. That game too into the final 10 minutes now. As Ireland now with this free kick to be taken by Matthew Moore, it looks like. Moore doesn't catch that one particularly well, and Spain can clear their lines pretty comfortably, but Ireland will pick it up again. Second ball in. And then the flag goes up and Spain have themselves a free kick.
It's just tired bodies now. They've put in a really strong shift, strong effort.
First time ball forward from Spain over the top. Jason Healy was alert to the danger and clears it away. It has been energy-sapping stuff for Ireland in particular tonight, given the temperatures, given the nature of the game and the opposition. They haven't shirked their responsibilities in that regard. It's been a hard-working performance. Granados, the first half goal scorer that gave Spain that lead after 22 minutes. Back now to Kabartsi. Nice turn in the middle. Spain now looking to set up another attack. And now Juan Hernandez. Javier Fernandez.
Yeah, they're excellent as well, Colin. That has to be said. Like, you look at them all in possession, so comfortable. Every one of them, the way to receive the ball, taken on the back foot. This lad's a special talent. But all the players around, dotted around the pitch.
Spain continuing just to keep possession now, winding down the clock. Granados into Juan Hernandez. Been very involved in the second half. Kabartsi. Yamal just straight offside. And I know he scored in the second half, but he's been far less prominent in the second half in many ways.
Yeah, and like, we'll certainly be reading and hearing plenty about him going forward, but Corey O'Sullivan and Luke Kerr, the second half, they'll look back in their careers maybe in years to come, and who knows, they might be the ones that he might be reading about. But just going forward, like, when you think of, I suppose, all the talk and hype about him when we were coming into the game and the opening exchanges, you're thinking, like, to be fair to Corey O'Sullivan, he might be in for a tough night. I think he's handled himself really, really well, Corey O'Sullivan. And the fact that he was on a yellow for a large period of the game as well. To remain disciplined and not be diving in, lunging in, especially against a tricky customer like Yamal. I think he's done really, really well, Corey O'Sullivan.
And here is Corey O'Sullivan now, driving a ball in for Ireland and wins a corner kick.
As have most of them. I've been really impressed, especially after I was disappointed the first day call. More so in the performance rather than, look, you can lose a match, I've no problem. It was more so in the performance. But since then, the way they've responded, they've been great, all lads. They've been really, really good. But I keep going back to the point about the level that Spain and the level that those players are playing at compares to our lads, and where we're at in terms of development and facilities and resources. Like, it's all good and well talking about it, but it needs to be addressed from at a high level from both the governing body, governments, whoever, that we need investment serious across the country.
Here comes Spain in search of a fourth. Chance on the edge of the area here. Fernandez with the shot. Well blocked down by the Irish defence.
Because when you think of the results that the underage teams are achieving, not just this group, you go through all the teams, the under 15s, 16s, obviously into Jim Crawford 21s as well. Like, what we're working off compares to what the results we're getting. Like, it's crazy when you think about it, Carl. It really is. Like, they're talk about overperforming and overachieving.
Good ball inside from Mason Emilia. Ball over the top now for Okason to chase. Does well. Daniel Bab. Akachukwu. Still Akachukwu. Bab does well to block it down. Still there for Ireland. And the shot in the end from Mason Emilia flashes over the crossbar, but good work from Ireland to create the opportunity. And Spain now making a couple of more substitutions, including, it looks like, a goalkeeper change. Still goalless between England and France. That game into the final 5 minutes now. It is a little bit behind our match here in Budapest. Ireland need an England win in that match to ensure Ireland will play Switzerland in a playoff for the final World Cup spot. That game due to take place on Tuesday. But if France were to win, England would take that spot, as Spain make these final substitutions for the closing couple of minutes, including Raul Jimenez coming off for Fran Arbol in goal. Castel also on for that man, Lamine Yamal, who can be relatively happy with his evening's work, particularly in the first half. But as Alan says, Corey O'Sullivan doing a really good job on a player that has featured for Barcelona at senior level. And a change for Ireland as well. Ed Solanke will come in. And Mason Emilia making his way off the field. Really hard-working display from Emilia tonight. Also in is Matthew Murray.
Yeah, Emilia can be happy, obviously, with his tournament as well. There's Corey O'Sullivan, who we've mentioned, but Emilia can be happy with the tournament as well, Carl. And he's just broken into, or obviously made his debut for St. Pat's as well, so he can come back and concentrate on that also. He's only 15 years of age. This young lad, Solanke, that's just come on. I'm hearing great things about him as well in terms of the talent that he is. So there's plenty of talent there for them, but as I keep saying, we need to nurture that talent in the right way in terms of giving them every opportunity possible with what they're working off resource-wise.
So heading into added time here in Budapest. Spain 3, the Republic of Ireland 0. Spain leading by a goal to 0 at half-time through Alejandro Granado's opener in the 22nd minute. Ireland improved after half-time. 2 minutes of added time are announced here. But Spain with 2 goals in 3 minutes then. Around the 70th minute mark. One from Mark Guiu, the other from Lamine Yamal, both those players at Barcelona. Giving Spain that 3-0 advantage and virtually booking their place in the semi-finals here. But Ireland are still battling and looking for a goal before the conclusion.
Yeah, and they haven't let their heads drop or go down once.
And they get a goal for their efforts. Daniel Bab. Hidegkuti is there to offer assistance. Bab does well. Gets inside a challenge then. Matthew Murray trying to get on the ball. Into the final minute of those 2 minutes added on. Ball back to Jason Healy. And now Jake Gramps. And Spain now on one final attack. Into the last 15 seconds here. Defending to do for Ireland as the ball finds its way into the area at the feet of Luke Castell. Into the hands now of Jason Healy. And there is the full-time whistle. And Spain advance to the semi-finals at the European Championships. Alejandro Granados, Mark Guiu, and Lamine Yamal with the goals. And Spain win by 3-0. Ireland's campaign is over, but that was a really hard-working display from Ireland, and perhaps, Alan Coley, you could say the scoreline a little harsh perhaps on Ireland.
I think it was, yeah, particularly the third goal. As I mentioned throughout commentary, Carl, I felt that 1-0 we were very much in the game, and that second half we were starting to grow into it and start to put Spain under a little bit of pressure. But the second goal was always going to prove pivotal one way or the other, whether we got it or whether Spain got it. Once Spain got it, I just felt that kind of took the sting out of the fact that we were trying to go and maybe throw the kitchen sink at them for that last 20 minutes. So that was the killer goal. The third goal, as I say, the keeper will know himself, he made a mistake. But overall, I think it's been a really good tournament, really good competition. When you're comparing what we're playing against to where our lads are at, like, how do we expect to be beating Spain? Like, that's the reality of the situation, and the way those boys acquitted themselves and put in a really brilliant performance and effort and discipline-wise and organisation-wise, they can be very, very proud of themselves. They really can.
Well, in terms of the World Cup qualification picture, Ireland needed England to beat France tonight in the other match in the quarter-finals for Ireland to get into a playoff against Switzerland next Tuesday, but France have taken the lead against England in that match in the 89th minute. So as things stand, Ireland would miss out on a place in that playoff. That game is into added time, so it hasn't finished just yet. But Ireland's campaign ends at the Nándor Stadium in the Under-17 European Championships. It's finished here. Spain 3, the Republic of Ireland 0.